All right, y'all. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm King Tyson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I always tell y'all to do in the beginning or the end of my videos. Check it out. Write me at KingTyson713@yahoo.com if you want my advice about something, you want my opinion about something. Write me, KingTyson713@yahoo.com. It is free, y'all. I do not charge y'all to write me an email and for me to answer back. Also, if you like this content, please go to the video tab section of the YouTube channel. Click on the video that interests you. Watch it. Give me some feedback in the comments. I really appreciate that. So look, let's get on with this video. I wanted to make this video because this subject situation, it touched me. It's the disappearance and possibly unaliving of Nazaria Harris up in Detroit. The story's kind of been going viral. They just did the pre-trial to see if they present all the evidence, so the prosecutors can get all the evidence and stuff like that. And it's up to the judge to decide if this case will go to a trial. And let me say this: yes, it is going to trial, but the details that that was exposed has got everybody who's tuned into the story jaws dropped, of what happened in the situation. And I know on my YouTube channel, I talk about relationships mostly. Every now and then I might talk about other things, but this situation ties into relationships as well. And that's why I want to talk about it. This is a learning lesson for women mostly. Let me say this. It looks like this poor girl has been unalived by her so-called uncle. It's a sad situation, but it's things that we need to be aware of in our community. And I'm sure this goes on in other races, but this is something that's happening in our community that we need to use this for lessons, because there are little girls who's going through this. There are little boys who's going through this. And we have to be more cognitive of what's going on. We need to pay attention to our kids. Sometimes kids can come into a very rough background. And then these kids go to school and we just thinking these kids are just bad or they're acting out, and we're not understanding why are they bad? Why are they acting out? You just don't know the things that they go through at home. We just, and we got to pay attention more. And this little girl who was 13 years old, any adults that was in her life, they failed her. Her mother was not in her life. She had to live with her grandmother. The grandmother has a daughter, which is Nazaria's aunt, Shannon, who has 5 kids of her own with this guy whose name is Jarvis Butts. And he is the monster of this whole thing. And so Nazaria's mother was not in the picture. The grandmother adopted her when she was back in 2016. The mother, she just wasn't in the picture. I don't know. They don't give a backstory what happened. Her father was not in the picture. I know he recently just died. I think he had health issues and he died. But before then, I don't know the situation of the dad. If you've always had health issues and he wasn't around, he just wasn't around, period. We don't know. They don't talk about that. Right now, what they've been speaking about is basically the grandmother and the aunt and this guy, Jarvis Butts, right? And so the situation is this little girl, she went missing. Her body has not been found. Come to find out that this guy, Jarvis Butts, which is the boyfriend, it's his baby mother, which is Shannon, Nazaria's aunt, who lives with the grandma. They don't live together. The guy Jarvis and Shannon, the aunt, Nazaria's aunt, they don't live together. This is just the guy that's that lives wherever. He goes between this with her, with the aunt. Then he has other females, other baby mamas. He got a total of 13 kids. This guy went to jail for about 10 years. He's a registered sex offender for messing with underage kids. He's been accused to mess with his own child and other minors before. The system, this guy got out, and this guy unalive Naziah. This guy, Jarvis Butts, I'm sorry, I keep calling him a guy, this monster, this bitch at, this dude here, right? This dude was messed around with this girl, Naziah. She was 13 years old. The dude is 42 years old. He was messing around with this girl. Text messages came out of their conversations. So the little girl went missing, and they was tracking her tablet. Let me start before I get to that part, right? Okay, let me go there. She went missing. Every day, the grandma says she come home at about 3 o'clock, 3:15 from school every day. She's not a runaway child. She's not a child who goes out and don't come home at times. She's the grandmother said she was a good student. And so the child is not home at 3 o'clock, 3:15 like she normally is. The aunt supposedly asked the mom where is she at. She ain't made it home yet. The mom says, they don't know. She doesn't know. They calling around looking for Naziah. Once they do, they call and looking for Naziah. They still don't find her. Instead of them calling the police, they don't call the police. The grandma says, which is the aunt's mom, the grandma says, well, don't worry about it. We'll call the police in the morning time. If you got a little girl that's 13 years old that hasn't came home, and she always come home from school every day at 3:15, why the hell do you not call the police and make a report and see what's going on? They don't call the police. They say they'll deal with it in the morning time. That's a red flag already right there. Now, I'm not saying the grandmother and the aunt have anything to do with it, but they need to be charged for negligence some type of way, my personal opinion. But anyway, they make a report the next day. They go out looking for her. Anyway, they have Naziah's tablet. The police, the investigators, they go through the tablet because she doesn't have a phone. They go through the tablets and they find messages from her social media because she's always active on social media. They find messages between her and the guy that's supposed to be her uncle, which is Jarvis. And he is the one who, like I said, has the kids with her aunt, Shannon, who lives at the house with them. Now, he got, like I told you, he got 13 kids, a registered sex offender, and he has a fiance. So the aunt is not the fiance. He has another woman that's a fiance who knew about his past and still wants to marry him. That's another red flag that we're going to talk about in women, desperate women, right? When you look at the woman, his fiance, you look at the aunt, he has a type of woman that he deals with. And they say that what he do is this sick individual grooms little girls. He gets with the mother that has daughters, has kids, and he gets close to the kids to try to mess with them. And what I want to tell my sisters out is, when you holler about you want a man that's gonna be there for you, that's gonna love you and your kids, shit like this is what I be talking about. And I don't want my sisters to not be so desperate for a man that you pick the wrong man that's gonna do something to your kids. I gotta say something to the brothers. I don't know about that man, Naziah's father. I know he recently died of of a health condition. But before the health condition, you should have been in your daughter's life. Your family should have been in your daughter's life. They should have been there for this little girl. This little girl, you look at it like this guy Jarvis. And the crazy part is people gonna look at the situation, which is a fucked up situation, and they gonna look at it and they gonna say, well, that girl was being fast. Neziah 13, she being fast, because the text message came out. They got the text message of them talking, of him coming to the house, picking up Neziah at 2 o'clock in the morning, taking her to a motel, having sex in the basement, all type of shit. She talking, they talking explicit about sexual positions, all type of shit that grown men talk to grown women about. Shit that I say to my wife, shit that brothers say to their woman, to their wife, a freak on the side, whatever. He's talking to this girl like she's an adult woman. And if you see this little girl looks like a little girl. She's a tiny little girl, which is fucking sickening, right? And some people look at that and say, well, that little girl being fast. Put the blame on the man. It's not a fast situation. That little girl came in the house where she was not properly loved. Not properly loved from her father, not properly loved from her mother. The aunt is so busy, got 5 kids by a man who is a fucking sex offender, who fucking accepted the fact that he get what other women had babies. He also had babies while dating the aunt. She was accepting of him having other women because she trying to have a piece of a man. So she accepted all this and had more kids and had kids with him. There's talks about this guy around the community, I'm sure, about him messing with kids because he went to jail before. Reason why I tell women, before you date somebody, please do a background check. Please do a background check because you never know. And so this guy groomed this little girl. It's not that she was fast. It's that he, like child predators, they manipulate little kids. And this man, this coward, this punk motherfucker, this sick ass, bitch ass nigga manipulated this little girl. Got him, the stuff that she was saying to him, right? She was, and to top it off, she was pregnant. The reason why this is circumstantial evidence, this is all circumstantial, a circumstantial unaliving. This is why he's being charged for murder. Because even though they didn't find a body, they found clues of what could happen. He Google searched how to do a homemade abortion. Drink some red antifreeze. Do this, do that to have an abortion. So he was looking up home abortions to get rid of that child, to get rid of Neziah's baby. Now, what the judge said was, she thinks what happened was, she said that the day that she went missing, they got camera of her walking to his shop because he owned a mechanic shop. They got witnesses, which is his own sister that needed her car to be worked on, seeing Neziah going in and out his truck. And she said, hey, who is that little girl? Oh, that's just my niece. Another red flag. Ladies, please, I know you want a man, if you're not with your kid's father, you want a man that's gonna step in to be a father figure for your kids. But you gotta watch a man who's too comfortable. Even though a man got kids, that don't mean shit. He could be too comfortable around your kids, too comfortable. You should not be comfortable to where you always around to where he would ask if she could come clean up the shop. Why is she coming to clean up the shop by herself? That's not weird to you? A 40-year-old fucking man asking a 13-year-old to come clean up the shop? That don't make no sense. We gotta be mindful. Sometimes predators come out to be they start off as the nicest people just to get around kids. And you think, no, nothing. You got to pay attention to the signs. Ladies, you need to be, if a guy come in up front too close with your kids, you need to watch that. While you sit up there talking about, man, this man act like this man, he know I got kids and he not trying to get to know my kids like that. I'd rather you take a brother who not trying to get to know your kids at first versus you meeting a brother who up front, you first meet him, he talking about meeting your kids and want to be around your kids a lot. You need to watch that. Because it throws red flags. Anyway, they tracked the little girl to him. And they tracked her going to a motel. And they show him coming out, but they don't show her coming out. So they think that he unalived Neziah. And I bet he did. The judge says, like I was saying, the judge said that she believes that he tried some homemade remedy, abortion, to get rid of the baby, and she believes something went wrong. And it didn't work out, or something happened, and he ended up unaliving Neziah. And I believe that's what happened as well. I believe the whole community failed Neziah. This little girl was asking this guy, texting, if you look at the text message, she was asking him, I need pads. Because she was in the previous, and they was messing around for 2 years. So she was 11 years old when they started messing around. And you could tell on the text messages, the way he was talking to her, she saved him as his contact, as a contact for him as Bae for life. He was getting this little girl, her playing mental mind games with this girl. Like it's just him and her. He messing with her like how dudes be messing with women. I know you talking to somebody else. And the woman, how a woman be, I'm not talking to nobody else. I'm only talking to you. He was doing them mind games on a little girl. It was all kind of mental games he was playing with this girl, with this little girl. And I didn't get the information about, but the judge said that there was proof that he was bragging to other people, or not necessarily bragging, but maybe it's text messages. I don't know. But he was bragging about him having all these different women, them being okay with the women he messing with, and he messing with kids and stuff, and with their kids. He was bragging about it. And he's a child predator. And I believe it's going to be a speedy trial. I believe he's going to be found guilty, and he needs to get dealt with how he get dealt with. And I'm going to leave it at that. I feel like as a community, we need to pay attention to things like this. Let me tell you something. My wife, before I met my wife, right, I was always about just me and my son, right? I didn't want to open up, my love past just me and my son, right? And I'm a single child, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's kind of like the little selfishness about me, But my wife is so free-hearted, so free-spirited. And she taught me to open up and be as some help to other people. As far, and let me say this, I'm open to helping people out. But I help somebody out, I'm like, all right, I helped you out. You good? I'm good. And I'm done. But my wife taught me to learn to open up more besides just my inner circle. I learned that from my wife. Even when it comes to my step kids, right? You know what I'm saying? So it taught me to these things I had to learn, right? And we got to learn to help other people, other kids that's not our own sometimes. Even if you don't open up your home, at least try to be some kind of help and recognize things and report things. If you see something, try to do something. This little girl could have been saved. And there are Naziahs going on every day in this world. And they have no voice. They're little girls. And sometimes there's little boys. Because a child predator ain't got a specific gender that they go for a lot of the times. And these kids are getting messed with right up under the household that they live at. Whether it be family members, friends of the family, or whoever. We got to pay more attention to our kids. And with our kids, we got to pay attention to their actions. Now, even though Naziah, the grandmother says Naziah was making good grades, this little girl had to go to this guy and ask for pads. And she was begging him, please, can you give me some pads? You have a grandmother and an aunt in the same household as you. And you mean to, she said, I don't have no money. She ain't got no money. She only 13. You mean to tell me you got to go to this man for some pads? It don't make sense. They failed this little girl. The lesson I want to talk about from this situation. Rest in peace to Naziah. I believe she is deceased. I believe this dude unalived her. I think everybody knows it. But the lesson I want to talk about is to the ladies is that I don't want y'all to be, because I know a lot of women, and sometimes women, y'all can get desperate for a man. And I know you a woman, you looking at this video, you're like, well, I ain't never desperate for a man. But let me say this. If it's not you, there's other women who are desperate for a man. And I myself personally know women who are desperate for a man, who will do anything for a man, who will put anybody to a side for a man. You might not be that woman, but you got a friend that's like that. You got an aunt that's like that. You got a mama that's like that. Hell, you even got a grandmother that's like that. You got a niece that's like that. There are women who will put a man in front of their own kids. This is what I'm saying, ladies. You got to be careful. And the brothers, it's a lesson to you. Predators are predators. But the thing about a predator is they study before they make a move. If you are an active father in your kid's life, 9 times out of 10, a predator will not touch your kids because they know there's an active male in this child's life. And if I do this and this child tell him, I'm going to get my ass beat, I'm going to get shot, I'm going to get something. I'm going to get jumped, I'm going to get something. So they typically don't go for kids that has a father figure in their life. They typically go for kids that don't have a father presence at all. The reason why this guy chose the women he chose. He chose women who probably had low self-esteem, women who were desperate for a man, and he went for them. These women had so much low self-esteem that they knew he was with other women who accepted him going to other women just to have some time with him. But if you look at them, they don't look like, I'm just being real, they not all that attractive. I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I'm just saying, this is just coming from my understanding. Let me not say they unattractive. Let me say this. I guarantee you they won't be the first to be chosen by most men. They are, in my opinion, below average. And I'm not trying to diss nobody. I'm just keeping it real. And these women will be desperate, especially if they feel like a guy is attractive. They'll let a guy do anything. This is the reason why you got some guys who pick women that they feel are below average and they feel like they can get the world from them. You'll give them anything. Now, they even said that they believe that the aunt knew about Naziah and Jarvis. the aunt that lives with the grandmother, which is Naziah's aunt, they feel that they feel that she knew, she seen some sketchy text messages, or I'm sorry, direct messengers between them two. But she kind of questioned it. He kind of gave her an excuse, and I don't know if she could. I don't know that they didn't really get too much off into that. So even after that, you seen some questionable stuff. You still was dealing with this guy, the aunt. So, and these women probably knew about this guy's background. I believe the fiance knew. She still was with him. Ladies, you can't be so desperate that you just pick any man that you feel if you attracted to him, no matter what his background situation is. Especially when you got kids. You have to be careful who you choose. And like I said to the brothers, you got kids, you're not with the mother. You need to be very active in your kids' life, because you don't know the men that your baby mama, your ex-wife are gonna talk to. Like I keep telling y'all, when a man and a woman breaks up, a man will run into one crazy girl, another woman. I'm sorry, probably about the second woman, she's a good, decent woman. There are more good women than it is a good men. I'm being honest with you. A man is not going to take long. If he's a catch, if he's a guy who got something going for himself, it ain't going to take long at all. Brother going to have a choice to pick of the litter. But a man, it don't take long for a man to find him a woman, a good woman. Even if the woman might not be just all that attractive, but he can find a woman. It takes a woman to go through a few guys before she find a decent guy. And I'm just keeping it real. Because you got dudes that still want to be players out here, dudes who pretending to be something that they not. You know what I'm saying? You still got dudes who beat on women. You got all kind of type of shit. Women got to go through a whole lot of shit to find a decent guy. So you don't know all the things your baby mama or your ex-wife went through. She choosing the guy she deal with, who gonna be around your kid. Because at the end of the day, a lot of men don't have joint custody. A lot of men don't share 50-50 visitation. So you get your child every other weekend. So your woman and women are human. They want to have a guy that they deal with too, some companionship. And sometimes women, let's just keep it real, y'all might not have a babysitter at the time. Y'all might have a guy come to the house, kids asleep, and this guy's over here coming to your house. You don't know, a lot of times women, you don't know, y'all fall asleep, the man could be going upstairs to the kids' room. You don't know nothing. These are the type of things that you just don't know. And I just want my ladies to be very careful. And my brothers, you got to step up as a father. You got kids, you're not with the mother, soak it up, get out your feelings. It don't matter if this woman was a one-night stand or you can't stand her, whatever. Man, get your kids. Be involved in your kids' life. Because I believe if that father was in Naziah's life and was getting Naziah when a mother couldn't get Naziah and he got Naziah, that probably wouldn't even happen to that little girl. And she's gone. And this man, this bitch ass dude, sick motherfucker, took advantage of this little girl. And other kids, not just Naziah. He just unalived this baby, but he was molesting his own flesh and blood child and another child. This is real life. Y'all gonna follow that story, man. But I just want to talk about it. It was going viral. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. I'm King Tyson. Peace and blessings. One love. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm out.